Happy Tuesday. It's time for Stories with Sarah Lizabeth. Thanks for coming back. Y'all are in my studio tonight because I have a friend that's about to have a baby. So I gotta get to the hospital. So I had to record this tonight. So welcome to the studio. What a week it has been. Things are blooming here at Regalo Design and I am so excited. It is amazing. And it's good. And I'm so grateful for each and every day that I get to wake up and serve others. And y'all, I have told you a lot of stories about past clients. I've told y'all about guests. And I'm sorry that I pick on y'all so much. But if you would just stop doing crazy things, I wouldn't pick on you so much. But really, don't stop because I love it. Today I'm going to share with you a story about something that I did that was pretty daggone stupid. Now, I know you wouldn't believe this, but I have actually done some really not so bright things in my life. I have taken a drill to an outlet, totally burned up my drill, and I almost burnt down my house. And I loved that drill. I was singing the national anthem for a professional hockey, pro hockey game one time. And you know, when you do that, they put out this little carpet for the person, whoever is singing the anthem, they put out this little carpet for that person. But instead, I decided that it was my duty to scoot all the way to the center of the ice. It was not good. I have taken out 4 mailboxes with my car. Not just one, but 4. I mean, I had just gotten French fries and I was excited to eat them. And one of them had fallen on the ground. And y'all, if you've ever just gotten French fries, it had to be rescued. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So the mailboxes in my car were secondary to the hot and fresh French fry. Y'all remember when antennas were exterior and they would come up, you know, when you'd push the button for your radio? Well, I have lost a million of those in car washes. I once ran a mini marathon without any previous running experience, not even a jog. My friends said, "Hey, we're running a marathon in the morning. You wanna join us?" And I was like, "Yeah." I mean, how did I do that? I hit a deer one time and I kept going for 5 miles before I realized what I had done. I mean, both counties officers had to come and visit me. I mean, I got a 2 for 1. One poor deer lost his life though. I have stood on top of a 20-foot ladder to hang drape. I'm not talking about like go to the top. I'm talking about that little section that's at the tippy top of a ladder. I mean, the drape had to be hung. In my career, my mission is to not do anything stupid. Don't do it, Sarah. Don't even think about it. So, but you know, everyone has a moment of weakness, right? And this is a story about a time where I thought I had done it. I remember thinking, God, this is how I'm gonna die. This is it. So I hope y'all enjoy it. So much of my career here in Nashville has been spent while I was pregnant. I think I've told y'all that there are vendors in town that don't know me as not being pregnant. I mean, they ask me like, "Hey, you preggo?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not," and that's rude. Don't ask me that again. So, you know, I started a business. I birthed, you know, 3 beautiful baby girls, you know, raised them, served over 100,000 guests. I've done 400 weddings over that probably in town. I've made a bazillion bouquets. I've lost track. You know, while hauling flowers and decor and running events, all while being pregnant. And so this story happened at one of those weddings where I was pregnant. I wasn't just pregnant, y'all. I was very, very pregnant. And I was out of town. I wasn't in Nashville. And so, there was one major thing that happened that day. The groom showed up so drunk that he couldn't even stand. Like literally the only thing that I could think to do and suggest was that he sit during all of his pictures. So every single picture, I'm not joking, every picture that they have when looking back at their wedding like 8-9 years ago is of the groom sitting with just like people around him. Crazy. I'm not joking. So that is a real story. And it's actually probably a story that I should share because there are a lot of funny things that happened that day. So to my credit, I was a little distracted. My younger brother is a videographer and a photographer. And I was so excited because I was working this wedding with him and we were both out of town. And, he is amazing. He is always, cheering me on. He's my biggest fan. And we can just sit across the room from each other and we will just know what the other is thinking. I've often wondered if we are just like twins separated by 4 years. He and I can look at each other and bust into full laughter session without, having to say a word, but just observing each other. So we just know what the other one is thinking all the time. So on this day, there were no words. After he realized that I wasn't gonna die, there was a lot of laughter, and we continue to laugh about it to this day. I am not just a planner to my clients. I also do all of their flowers and decor. And this client in particular wanted a bouquet of all calla lilies. It's what she had dreamed of her entire life. Now, calla lilies are probably my least favorite flower, but I will never state my personal opinion to my clients. It doesn't matter on their day. So, whatever their flower is, her favorite flower was calla lilies, and so on her wedding day, my favorite flower was calla lilies. It is not about, if I can get the best Instagram post or Facebook post to promote my business. For me, it's bigger than that. It's about that person and what they want. It doesn't matter what I want on that day. So I don't care if they love calla lilies and they love pink and purple, and there is no way that they're ever gonna see any other color of the rainbow. I will give them the absolute best calla lily pink and purple wedding that they could ever imagine. While I was observing the photos and watching the groom, take photos while seated and having everyone congregate around him, I noticed that in the bride's bouquet, there was a droopy calla lily. That is not okay. And I want perfection. It's part of the reason why I don't enjoy calla lilies very much is because they droop. So I said to my brother, hang on. And I ran over and I snatched her bouquet from her and I turned myself around and I bit that calla lily right out of her bouquet with my teeth. It was not my best moment, but it had to be done, y'all. You can't have a droopy calla lily. Did y'all know that calla lilies are poisonous? Yep. As soon as I handed her back her bouquet, my entire face was numb. I had no lips. They were just numb. I started to have contractions. I went into immediate contractions. I was 250 miles from my hospital and I was starting to have contractions. My body was like, you just ingested poison and it is time now to get this baby out. I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. I just sat down and was like, dang, Sarah, what a way to go. I quickly grabbed my brother and I said, hey, guess what? I actually probably said, hey, guess what? And I said, I just ate a calla lily, which AKA means I just ate poison. And he looked at me and his face said, I would have never imagined that this is how I would lose my sister, over eating a calla lily. Y'all, don't ever eat them. And you know what? Don't ever put them on your cake, because you will instantly poison your guest. Don't do it. It's not good. So for a minute, my brother and I, we just kind of like looked at each other. It was like we were saying our final goodbyes without saying anything at all. I looked at him and I said, I need to make a phone call, which is translated to, I need to make a phone call. And I called poison control. And I told them, I am 9 months pregnant. I am a florist. And I just ate a calla lily. You would have thought I had called the suicide helpline. I mean, they were like, tell us why you would do that. To which I said, because the client's bouquet had a droopy flower in it and I needed to get it out. So after about 10 minutes on the phone with them and them telling me all the things that were gonna happen to my body over the next few hours, and that I needed to call my OBG like ASAP, I returned to the wedding. I gave my brother this look like, hey, you're gonna still have me in your life. And I continued with the events of the day. I knew I was gonna feel awful. I knew everything that was gonna happen to my body to flush out this poison that I ingested, but I wasn't gonna die. It was a few months post the wedding, and the client and I were meeting just sort of as a, kind of like a post-wedding detox, because I really did have to detox, but kind of a catch-up dinner. And I told her what I did at her wedding. She didn't know, obviously, on the day of what I had done. All she knew was that the ceremony, the first dance, the cake cutting, the bouquet toss was flawless. She said to me, Sarah, you could have told me what was going on. But all I could do, honestly, was I just wanted her to have the most amazing day, and I didn't want her to have any added stress. So even in my state of emergency, she was my focus. So here's how I sum up this story for you. There were a lot of people that were there that day. There were people that looked at me and they said, this is the dumbest thing that anyone could have ever done. There were people that jumped in to offer support to me, but there was only one person who held the truth, and it was the poison control person. And it didn't matter what anyone thought or felt about my current situation. I needed truth. Am I gonna die? And the answer was no. And so I kept going. Each item on that schedule was a little victory in itself. It was like ceremony, check. Photos, check. Intro into the reception, check. Dinner, done, check. Cake cutting, the cake was cut. Dances, we did it. Every step along the way was a victory. And there were lots of victories, but there were also lots of moments of, I am not okay. But I made it, and I am so glad I did. So let this be a lesson learned from me to you. Don't eat calla lilies. Don't inject the poison. It will not end well for you, I promise. It will not. So instead, go get some scissors and cut that thing out of there as fast as you possibly can. Don't let the poison touch your lips. They look like they're your friend, but they are not your friend. And it'll get you so fast, you won't even know what hit you. Before you know it, you'll turn around and your whole face will be numb. Your whole body will try and get that poison out. Don't do it. It won't end well. I do hope that my little moment of insanity will help someone out there. And I appreciate y'all stopping by and spending some time with me. Next week, I have a amazing story about a mother of the bride. It's good. So I look forward to sharing that with you next week, and I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Until then, take care.